This is terrifying. I daren't look down. I've already... Good morning and welcome to the second day of my mini break to the Netherlands. I start today in Oosterbeek and I'm heading to Arnhem, a place I've always wanted to visit ever since I saw the film A Bridge Too Far and learnt about Operation Market Garden. And it's interesting walking down this street towards the railway station because so many houses here in Oosterbeek have the red flag outside of the Airborne division. This year marks the 79th anniversary of Operation Market Garden, from the 17th to the 25th of September 1944. And it's lovely to see these flags out. It really is. And it's an event which the Dutch commemorate every year. And I'll talk more about Operation Market Garden when we get into Arnhem itself and we make our way through the town and get down towards the bridge, the famous bridge, the Bridge Too Far. But it's a beautiful morning here. I reckon the temperature's going to get up to 30 degrees. A lot hotter than it was yesterday. Mind you, there's a heat wave in England at the moment, so I think it's coming this way. The forecast for the rest of the week is temperatures well into the 30s. So rather hot. But I walk down to the railway station and catch my train to Arnhem. In the centre of Arnhem, only 4 minutes on the train from Oosterbeek. I think that's one of the shortest train journeys I've taken. Is that the shortest train journey in Europe? Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. €6.20, and that included a €1 surcharge, which also appeared on my tickets from yesterday as well. I'm not sure what that surcharge actually means, but no doubt somebody watching will, and they better tell me in the comments section below. Rather striking building behind me is the Vesta building, commissioned by the SA Insurance Vesta, designed as an office building for the insurance company. The building was officially opened on the 18th of May 1930, and the architect, Wilhelm Diehl. Rather lovely building. And it survived the Second World War. These beautiful gardens as well really are absolutely beautiful here. And what a beautiful city it is here. Absolutely delightful. And the railway station was vast, as was Utrecht Central yesterday. Beautiful stations with shops and cafes, lovely clean platforms, and trains going almost everywhere here in Holland. But Arnhem is the capital of the province of Gelderland. It has a population of around 164,000 people. It's twinned with 7 cities, including Airdrie in Scotland, Croydon and Coventry in England. But I guess Arnhem is famous for Operation Market Garden. The Allied invasion of Holland, the plan was to capture the bridges over the rivers and then cross the bridges with armoured divisions into the Ruhr region of Germany, the industrial region of Germany. Operation Market Garden, as it was called, and made famous in the 1977 film A Bridge Too Far, directed by Richard Attenborough, and an all-star cast. And it all centred around the prize, which was Arnhem Bridge. and we'll visit that later in this video. It's also my prize here for my mini break to the Netherlands. I've been wanting to come to Arnhem since I saw the film back in the 1970s. And I thought about how I'd make a video from Arnhem. Do I research and present a history documentary style vlog? But there are so many on YouTube, so many documentaries, so many books written about Operation Market Garden. So I thought I would do my own video in my own Alice style and just have a wander through the city and see what I can find, and see if there are any information plaques up about Operation Market Garden and what happened at that location. I spotted last year numerous plaques on my travels around Germany showing before and after photographs, so I'm hoping I'm going to find some here. Well, I'm going to walk into town, or walk into the city and visit the cathedral and down to the bridge and the Airborne Museum as well. So this is a day that I've been looking forward to since I booked this trip. So I'm going to enjoy myself today, and hopefully you will as well, as you follow me through Arnhem and down to the famous bridge. It's lovely just walking through the city in the early morning. Shops preparing to open, and all the locals going about their business. Really is lovely. The only downside is the noise of some roadworks that's going on. I hate roadworks and I hate traffic noise. There are quite a few electric vehicles in the city delivering, which is nice to see, and they are very quiet. So are the cyclists. I've nearly been run over again. This isn't good. It's not good. But I've been trying to find some of these old historical plaques. I'm sure they have some here in Arnhem. But there's one on the side here. Old historic house. Presickhaeffs House. Named after the mayoral family. Used to live here in the 17th century. The gate is 1358. Wow, that's beautiful, with black doors in the middle. That really is lovely to see that. 1358. Some old parts have survived. But just ahead is the Eusebius Kirk, or St. Eusebius Church. It's actually the largest church in the Netherlands, and the largest building in Arnhem as well. So let's go inside and take a look. There's also some burials here of relatives, cousins of William I, William of Orange. And there are some, just incredible to see these tombs. 3 cousins, one of them is Philip of Nassau, 1566 to 1595. His father, John VI, Count of Nassau-Dillenburg, was the younger brother of William I, and as a stateholder of Gelders. Together with his brother Louis Grontho and cousin Ernest van Solms, 1568 to 1595, fought against the Spanish as a soldier. Wow, I've seen many tombs in churches around the world. This is absolutely incredible. Let's see what else is down here in the crypt. Absolutely incredible. These skeletons date between the 14th and the 17th century. These are some of the wealthiest people in Arnhem at the time, and some were probably clergy as well, because they were allowed to be buried within the church. Absolutely fantastic to see them. This is why I love visiting churches. You just never know what you're going to find. Absolutely incredible. Now let's go and climb the tower and look at the views over the city of Arnhem. It's absolutely fantastic up here, and the view in front of me, well, it's the Arnhem Bridge, and I'll be walking down there a little later in the video. But here are some views from the top of the church. I'm right at the very top of the tower, 93 metres, 305 feet above the ground. It's quite cramped up here, and it's quite interesting looking up into the roof and seeing the very top of the tower, the interior of the top. Ahead of me is the central station where I arrived this morning, and in the window behind me is the view overlooking Nijmegen, which is where I'm going tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And downstairs, 2 floors down, are the bells. There's also a glass walkway as well. So I'm going to try and go down there, have a look at the bells, and hopefully my vertigo will allow me to walk along the glass walkway. So let's go downstairs and do that. It's only a short walk down from the elevator, down underneath the bells, and look up. A few minutes ago they were ringing. What a lovely sound they made as well. And is the Carillion. This is where the bells are played from. It's a musical instrument, as well as them being linked to the clock. It's quite fascinating to watch the video of the man playing the Carillion. Keyboard is set out just like a piano keyboard, and with the pedals as well, and the levers ring the ball inside the bell and make it ring. You can play hard or soft depending on the piece. It's a very responsive instrument, just like the pianoforte. But I'm faced just ahead of me now with the glass walkway, and I'm going to be brave here because I'm going to walk onto the... Oh, don't. I can't do this. But I have to. Oh my goodness. I walked on a glass walkway in London above Tower Bridge. This is terrifying. I daren't look down. I've already pointed the camera down. Oh dear. This... Don't laugh. Whatever you do, don't laugh. I'm doing this for your benefit. Oh dear. I'm going to stand here. I'm actually on a glass walkway. I am absolutely terrified. My vertigo. Oh dear. I'm holding on, but I don't know what to. It's all glass. But there's a nice view here, I'm sure, looking down. And like other places I've walked on, with a nice view down, I'm going to look at that on the video when I get home. I'm feeling a bit dizzy now, actually. Oh dear. I'm going to walk back inside. Oh, that was scary. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought it was a step there. Oh, all the silly things I do. There we go. It does. There are quite a few of these around the world, and this one's only I say about 300 feet or so off the ground. Looking at it, I'm on terra firma right now. Well, metal railings and metal boarding. So looking at it, it's quite. I can't believe I did that. I think it's time to head on down now to the museum down by the bridge and look at the bridge itself, the famous Bridge Too Far. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. I just love visiting churches, and this was one of the most interesting that I think I've ever visited. Looking at the where's the start? The bells in there date from 1538, ordered by Charles II to be played at special occasions. But they fell down during the bombings of 1944, and they are just on display there. Absolutely incredible to see them. The painting on the wall, well, that was vandalised in 1578. Catholic painting there, all the heads were scratched out, and it's just been left there as it was. It would have been beautiful had it survived. Very interesting to see that. The tomb of Charles II as well, and to go down into the crypt and see his remains really were quite incredible. He was the Duke of Guelders. He died in 1538. All the other skeletons that are on display there. The church is actually quite interesting. They started building the church back in 1452, replacing an earlier church first dedicated to St. Martin, or Martin of Tours. Now, he died in the year 397. It's also known as Martin the Merciful, and he was the third bishop of Tours in France. But the church was rededicated to Saint Eusebius. I think that's how you say it, Eusebius, who was a bishop from Sardinia. Now, he died in the year 371, and some relics of his came to Arnhem back in the 15th century. But of course, it's the events of the Second World War that put its mark on this church, because it was largely destroyed. And there are some photographs right up in the very top which show the church in ruins. But they rebuilt it between 1946 and 1961, and absolutely amazing how they've built it. the lift elevator went up to the up the tower. It's only the second time I've been up a church tower in an elevator. First was at St Nicholas Church in Cologne back in May of 2022. So never know, I might find a few more church towers with elevators in them. And hearing the bells, and they're ringing right now as well, chiming the half hour. Absolutely beautiful to listen to. I just love listening to church bells. But I mentioned the Second World War a moment ago, and Arnhem, of course, played its part in the Second World War. Operation Market Garden. And down by the river, there's a museum all about the airborne divisions that landed here between the 17th and the 25th of September, which was 79 years ago, back in 1944. So let's head down to the museum and take a look. Well, that was a really interesting little museum to walk around. It was free entry, and it told the story of what happened here back in 1944. Entrance fee into the church was €15. It was free just to walk around the church, but if you wanted to go down into the crypt and up the tower, and of course I did, it was €15 and money well spent. But sitting here in the beautiful sunshine, it's hard to imagine that 79 years ago, this was a pitched battlefield. Germans and the English battling it out for control of this bridge, the bridge too far. In September 1944, the Allies launched the military offensive known as Operation Market Garden from the 17th of September to the 26th of September. The road bridge here at Arnhem across the Lower Rhine should have been the final objective of the operation, and its capture was tasked to the British 1st Airborne Division. Unexpected German resistance in Arnhem meant that only a small force of some 740 men were able to reach the northern end of this bridge. It was commanded by Lieutenant Colonel John Frost, and today it's called the John Frost Bridge. On the night of the 17th of September 1944, British attempted to take the southern end of the bridge using a flamethrower to destroy the German positions on the tower. This accidentally ignited the ammunition store, and the fresh paintwork on the bridge caught fire, illuminating the area for most of the night, forcing the British to abandon their attempt. All this was portrayed in the 1977 film A Bridge Too Far, directed by Richard Attenborough, with a cast of hundreds of people. And all the stunts and all the activities you saw in the film, the parachute jump and the crossing of the river, were all done for real. There was no CGI in that film. They actually did it. They actually recreated all of the scenes for the film. It's one of the best war films ever made. It probably is the best. The Longest Day is probably the best, equal with this one, I think, because of the complexity of filming such an incredible story. I watched the film A Bridge Too Far the other day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've seen it about a dozen times, and it's always worth watching. It is a fantastic film, telling a quite incredible story. Tomorrow I'm going to Nijmegen, another city here in Holland, before going to Rotterdam towards the end of the week. So I've had an enjoyable day walking around, going up the church tower and visiting the little museum here by the Arnhem Bridge. I did find a historical plaque, but it had graffiti all over it, so a little disappointing. It had number 22 written on the corner, so perhaps there are others. I guess that's something to investigate on another day here in Arnhem. I've also had a walk up to the bridge as well, and stood on the famous Arnhem Bridge. So I'm going to leave you with some pictures of the bridge and the river, and we'll see you tomorrow for a trip to Nijmegen. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow my journey, because there's plenty more to come in this series and in future series coming later this year. Thanks for watching.